Wow, it appears that Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys season is officially over. We're going to break down this latest news and what's going to happen with the Cowboys in the future. So, at the beginning of this season, we had this glorious clip, which is now memed up, which is Dak Prescott guaranteeing a Super Bowl in 2024.
Yes.
Let's speak it into existence.
Sure.
The 2024 Dallas Cowboys
24 Dallas Cowboys. Will win the Super Bowl.
On Fox.
On Fox. In New Orleans.
Now, flashback 9 weeks into the season, you have Dak during this last L against the Atlanta Falcons, literally saying that this team effing sucks. He was caught live on video. We effing suck. You can see it right there. And he's feeding this to Trey Lance, the up-and-coming young quarterback. You don't want Dak being toxic and weakening the morale of the Dallas Cowboys, but nonetheless, that is what has happened. Now, that's all funny, seeing how the Cowboys have been absolutely terrible with a 3-5 record this year, but this is now some sad news, which I'm actually upset about, and I feel bad for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott due to this news. Dak will officially be placed on injured reserve, according to Stephen Jones. This happened after he suffered that injury in that Atlanta Falcons game. Absolutely nasty injury that he has. I do believe he will be back 100% next season, but in terms of seeing Dak this year at all, I'm highly skeptical. And what's funny is when he was injured in that L against the Atlanta Falcons, you had analysts like James Jones think that Dak Prescott was faking the injury a little bit and quitting on the Dallas Cowboys.
We know when dudes is hurt and really can't go, and we know when dudes is messing around.
But James, we ain't seen the MRIs, James Jones.
Yeah. It ain't off the bone. We seen the play.
So he was assuming that Dak was messing around, and this really did not age well considering the fact that Dak is on IR and now could possibly be getting surgery. This injury is quite nasty. Jane Slater broke this down, saying that the initial diagnosis is a partial avulsion of his hamstring tendon, which is partially torn off the bone. So that is insane. A hamstring tendon partially torn off the bone. So people said there's a 4-week recovery. Then we saw a radio show by Stephen Jones. He was estimating longer than 4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6. Stephen Jones says there's no way he can be back in a 4-week time frame. We'll put him over there on IR and have that roster spot. And he also said we're going to do what's in the best interest of Dak, and I don't think anyone knows whether it'll be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or this season. I'm going to guess and say the season, not only due to the severity of the injury, but because the Cowboys are done. What are you really playing for at this point? This game also featured some more meme-worthy moments when you had McCarthy not happy, slamming shit on the ground, upset with the situation because this is a guy who did not have a contract extension going into this year. We know CeeDee Lamb got the contract extension, Dak Prescott got the contract extension, but that did not happen for Mike McCarthy. And that is why people say it's stupid and people say it's all just clickbait BS, but I believe the Bill Belichick rumors to the Dallas Cowboys are for real. This guy did not get his contract extended. We know that Belichick has a great relationship with the Jones family, and I just do not see a way, unless somehow they turn this season around without Dak, that Mike McCarthy is the head coach next year. I do not see how that could possibly happen. And there's been so much drama with this team. We're going to get into what Trevon Diggs, the brother of Stephon Diggs, did a little bit earlier in the week. But he was talking to Micah Parsons, who's currently injured, could maybe be back this week, about the top QBs in the NFL, and they left somebody out.
Give us your top 5 right now.
I'm going to go him. I'm going to go Mahomes.
Marr. Gotta have Marr.
Yeah, Lamar, Josh Allen. Jalen playing pretty good right now, too.
Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback right now.
And Matthew Stafford. I love how Matthew Stafford played the quarterback position.
Sam Darnold could be in the top 5 conversation right now.
Yeah, Sam Darnold looking crazy too. So it's hard. There's a lot of good quarterbacks right now.
So we got 2 Cowboys players, Trevon Diggs, the corner, Micah Parsons, edge rusher, saying they're going to name their top 5 quarterbacks, and they went through 8. They did 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and no Dak Prescott. How could you mess that up that badly? And this is coming after last season when they lost to the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. We had CeeDee Lamb's mom saying that Dak isn't it. This was before he got that massive contract extension and became the wealthiest player in NFL history on an annual contract basis. But these guys threw some shade at Dak by not even mentioning his name. Extremely disrespectful, leaving Dak out of the top 8, top 5 conversation. And Diggs is somebody who just cannot keep the emotions in check as of late. We know that before they faced the New Orleans Saints, he threw some low-key shade at Chris Olave and then got absolutely mossed by Chris Olave. And now, this was before the L to the Atlanta Falcons because the Cowboys have so many L's. And look, I'm not here to talk trash. I'm a Raiders fan. I know what it's like to take a lot of L's, and we can't talk trash on anybody. But Trevon Diggs got into it with a reporter who questioned his effort early on in the week last week.
Took from that? Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trayvon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking you. We can talk about it more.
And what does this mean? This means you don't have the locker room. This means that you don't have discipline. This means that you are extremely frustrated. Not only does it show that your ego is weak, you're fragile, any kind of negative comment can move you and make you upset. That's what this shows. But also shows what does Mike McCarthy really have in terms of having a lock on the discipline of his football team. You're going to let players like that talk trash and get all feisty with reporters. Really, the good teams, the respectable teams, the teams that got their locker room in check know how to just say, hey, I don't like your question. I think that's an unfair question. Next question, please. They don't blow up and go all crazy at these reporters. And look, I know these reporters are annoying as hell and ask super disrespectful questions, but you gotta keep your composure if you're gonna be a leader and a professional athlete. Now, they did make up later on because he made that comment saying that he could hang on these nuts or something like that. And now you see these guys making up, and Trevon Diggs gave him a little packet of nuts. Who knows if the PR team, Mike McCarthy, and the coaching staffs told Diggs, dude, you got to make amends with this reporter. That looked sloppy. That looked nasty. That looked nastier than Dak Prescott's injury that he got during the Atlanta Falcons game. So you got to make it clean. You got to somehow squash the beef with these reporters because it's a bad look. And it was a bad look. Not only are these guys downplaying their own quarterback, beefing with reporters now, and it gets worse for the Dallas Cowboys. Not only are they dealing with the Dak injury, but they're making trades, still trying to be all in. The Dallas Cowboys traded for Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers, and a lot of people were scratching their heads. We know that Jerry Jones and the front office have been criticized for not making many moves during the offseason, not grabbing Derrick Henry. We had the hilarious "do you think I'm an idiot" moment early in the season.
I wouldn't be a hypothetical in that matter. Do you think I'm an idiot?
Well, a lot of people think that Jerry Jones is an idiot after this trade because they sent a 5th round pick for Jonathan Mingo. And this is a guy who's averaged only 22 yards a game, has never even found the end zone in his 24 game career. And this is a season where we've seen a lot of great wide receivers go for a 4th round pick. Mingo is for a 4th round pick, but you got Deontay Johnson, one of the top receivers on the Panthers, going for a 5th round pick to the Ravens. Devontae was a 3rd round pick. That's actually incorrect here. But DeAndre Hopkins recently went to the Chiefs for a 5th round pick, and Amari Cooper was given away to the Browns for a 5th round pick a couple years ago. But maybe the trade for Jonathan Mingo is a play for next year because this season is all about over for the Dallas Cowboys after that Dak Prescott injury. And look at their schedule coming up. They're playing against the Eagles this week. That's an L. Texans, that's a L. Commanders, that's a L. Giants, it was close last time with Dak. That could maybe be an L. And that was with the banged up Malik Neighbors on the Giants side of the football. Then you're playing the Bengals, that's an L. Panthers, that's a W. Buccaneers, possibly an L. They look good against the Kansas City Chiefs last week. And then you got Eagles, that's a L. Commanders, that's a L. So they're finally playing the rest of the NFC East, the Commanders twice and the Eagles twice. This is over for the Cowboys. I can't see a way that they end with even a 500 record, and it's mainly not all their fault. It's because they've put themselves in this hole, and now they have the toughest part of their schedule in the second second half. 3-5 record right now. Eagles and Commanders tied for first place. I mean, it's possible that the Cowboys end up last in the division. I mean, that's not like off the table here that they could have a worse record than the Giants, who have a 4-game losing streak right now, but at least they got their starting quarterback healthy. Right now, the Cowboys don't. And now we're about to find out how bad it could possibly get for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, there's a lot of Cowboys fans who do not like Dak, my brother being one of them. Now we're going to see what the offense is like with either Cooper Rush or Trey Lance. Cooper Rush is in line to start this week, and he actually has a pretty good record as a backup starter in the NFL. But I think if things get whack, if he doesn't make them any more competitive, I could see the team going to Trey Lance if they know they're going to lose anyways, just to see what they got in Trey Lance for the future, or perhaps boosting his trade value since he is a young 25-year-old former first-round pick from the San Francisco 49ers. But it is possible that Dak Prescott was making this team play even better than they actually are, and maybe it's going to get even worse for the Dallas Cowboys now that they're starting Cooper Rush. We'll find out what happens this week. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Subscribe. Peace out. Hope you have a good one.